Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all of you. Hope all of you are fine, class 5. Hmm? Children, I just want that you all have your books and workbooks in front of you, right? Do you have? Okay. Let's begin with our science lesson today. Today, the topic we are going to cover from Unit 2, Animal World, Animal Cell, Mammals, Reptile, Birds and Fish. Before I start the lesson, I must share thought of the day, and thought of the day is one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to explain structure and function of the animal cell, identify the three groups that mammals are classified in, identify some features of reptiles, describe common features of birds along with examples, describe some common characteristic of fish. By dear students, you know what is meant by cell? Cell is the basic building block of all living things. All living things are made up of cells. Cells hold all the equipment and information necessary to keep an organism alive. Each type of cell performs different functions. You can see the diagram, blood cells in front of you. Red one, oval shaped are red blood cells that carry oxygen around the body. The function of these oval shaped red blood cells is to carry oxygen throughout your body. Student cells are building blocks of what? Building blocks of every living organism. As information of any building which means is required, bricks. When one brick joins another one, then layer by layer, what we finally get? A building. Similarly, when one cell combines with other cell and so on, what is formed by the end? A body. Body. Okay, so every living thing is made up from cells. Every living thing is made up from cells. Okay. Children, as our topic is animal kingdom, we have to study all about the animals. So before going in detail in the classes of the vertebrates, I just want to share animal cell, main parts of the animal cell with their functions. So nucleus. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. The nucleus also controls the cell's growth and reproduction. Children, over here you can see this is nucleus in the center, and it is the control center of the cell. Just like in our body, central nervous system is the control center of your all body functions, all body systems. Similarly, in the cell, nucleus is the control center of the every cell. Okay. Now come to the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm helps to move materials around the cell and also dissolves waste. Children, this orangish colored liquid you can see over here. What is that? That is cytoplasm. That is cytoplasm. And in this cytoplasm, so many organelles or small, we can say structures of the cell, they are embedded. Just like I'm just giving you an example. If you're a bowl of a jelly, okay, and you have some, we can say, um, just like sprinkles or bunchies, okay, and you just embed it into that bowl. Just like all organelles are embedded in this jelly-like substance that is called cytoplasm. Cytoplasm help to move material around the cell and also dissolve it. Okay, then. Now come on next one. Third one, vacuole. Vacuole is a space in the cytoplasm containing air or food. Children, vacuole is present in every cell. It has salt, and that is the food, but we can say that is the food of the cell. And children, the waste material which are produced by the respiration reaction or whatever inside the cell, that is also present in the vacuole. Okay, then cell membrane. Cell membrane acts like a barrier. The world outside the cell and stops dangerous things getting in. Children, cell membrane is the boundary of the cell. Just see over here, even the outer boundary of the cell is what? Cell membrane. It is a boundary just like our house boundary wall. Only those people or things step in that we want and those things that we don't want enter, they do not. To this boundary wall, okay. Similarly, this boundary wall, cell membrane allow only and only those things into the cell, inside the cell, which are necessary for the cell. And those are not important, those are not necessary, it will not allow those materials to enter into the cell. Okay. Now children, okay children, now come to the topic mammals. Children, mammals and every living organism is made up from cells. All these mammals and birds and fish, reptiles, they all are made up from cells and they all have all important organelles, Okay, children, what are mammals? See over here, a bear, a polar bear with the two babies. Mammals have these common features. They are warm-blooded. What is warm-blooded? Warm-blooded means these animals have fixed body temperature. They have fixed body temperature and their body temperature do not change until and they do not change with the surrounding temperature. Okay, if the surrounding temperature is too much warm, no effect on their body. If it is too much cold, there is no effect on their internal body temperature. Their internal body temperature is fixed. And we have studied in detail about warm-blooded in previous lectures. Okay, able to feed their young. Okay, the female of the mammal, the female mammal, feed their young with the mother male. Have hair or fur. Children, you can see over here that there is a thick hair or fur on the polar bear skin. Why? It protects it from the extreme cold. Okay, give birth to their young. Okay, they give birth to their young. Types of mammals. Mammals are divided into three groups: placental mammals, marsupials or pouched mammals. Number three, monotremes. Okay. Now, children, we are going in the detail of these three types. First one is placental mammals. Placental mammals give birth to young who are well developed when they are born. For example, human, whales, dogs, elephant, and rats all are placental mammals. Children, placental mammals are a rather diverse group with nearly 4,000 type species. Okay? They give birth to their young. So that's why they are called placental mammals. Okay. Now, second type of the mammals are the marsupial or pouched mammals. Okay, they have a pouch in front of their belly and they give birth to young that are only partially developed. They give birth to young that are only partly developed. The young crawl into the mother's pouch where they are fed until they have developed enough to emerge into the world. The babies of the kangaroo or the polar bear, when they give birth to their babies, they are so weak, or we can say they are unable to move or unable to do their activities, their daily routine activities. So they have pouch in front of that, and their babies stay for some time in their pouch. And when they become mature, they come out from the pouch and they survive like a normal kangaroo and normal polar bears. Okay. Now come on, that is monotremes or egg-laying mammals. Children, when the young hatch after a few days, they live in their mother's pouch like marsupials. For example, the Australian platypus and echidna. Children, These monotremes are those animals, these are mammals, but they lay eggs. They lay eggs and sometimes young eggs after a few days they, they live in their mother's pouches sometimes. Or they are also weak, they are unable to do their activities. That's why they live for some time into their mother's pouch. Okay. Australian platypus and Chidina are the example. This one is the platypus. This one is the Chidina. Now we read scientific facts on mammals. Children, this one. What is this? Elephant. What is this? Elephant. The world's biggest land mammal, the elephant, hardly leaves any footprints. This is because it spread the body weight evenly. Body weight evenly. Okay. There is a mammal that can fly. What's the bat mammal? That is, it's bat. See the picture over here. Everyone is familiar with that. Okay. That type of a mammal is a wings for flying. Interesting fact. Okay. Now, children, second topic is reptile, birds, and fish. Reptiles' common characteristics are they are cold-blooded, they lay eggs with leathery, waterproof shells, they have four legs except for snakes. Everybody knows except snakes don't have legs. They have tail instead of hair of earth. They breathe through lungs. They have external ear of things except for snakes, for example, crocodile, alligator, lizard, snake, tortoise, and turtle. All are reptiles. Children, there are so many examples of reptiles in our surroundings. Okay. Children, what is meant by cold-blooded? As in first step, in the first point, there is a cold-blooded. Cold-blooded animals are those animals which cannot regulate their body temperature with the surrounding. They cannot regulate their body temperature with the surrounding. Okay? Because children, what happens? When the surrounding temperature changes, their body temperature also changes. Okay? And we have done this already in previous lecture as well. They lay eggs with leathery waterproof shells. Okay, very simple. They have four legs. This is one of the common examples. Then children, they have scales inside the layer of fur. Okay, they breathe through lungs. They breathe through lungs. Okay, they have external ear openings to listen the sounds of their surrounding. Okay, just like crocodile, alligator, lizard, snake, they all have external ears. Okay, children, all reptiles have external ears or ear holes, and like the snake, reptile ear has auditory function. जो reptiles ears हैं, these have auditory function. Almost all reptiles have sensitive ears. Okay, what is this, children? It's dinosaur. Reptiles once ruled the earth. Dinosaurs were the dominant vertebrates for more than 100 million years. They evolved diverse shapes and sizes from fearsome giant spinosaurs to chicken-sized Macroraptor and were able to survive in a variety of ecosystems. Everybody is familiar with dinosaurs. So many dinosaur movies. They are children buy the books relating to dinosaurs. They study about them. Okay, and you also study again and again about dinosaurs. Okay, now next topic is birds. Common characteristics. They are warm. Again, they have fixed body temperature. They lay eggs hard shells. Everybody knows the chicken egg. So chicken also a bird. They have scales but only on their legs and feet. They breathe through lungs. They breathe through lungs. They have a beak but no teeth. Okay, they have teeth for picking up the thing or whatever, but no teeth. They have furcula, which is known as a wishbone, which is known as a wishbone. Okay, children, if you have books in front of you, please open page number is 26, birds. Children, you can see over here in the last one where the kiwi, penguin and ostrich diagrams are there. over here it is written, no, all birds can fly. The flightless birds include ostrich, humans, rihas, penguins, storks, and kiwis. And I have given the diagram in front of you of the kiwi as well and the ostrich as well. Children, now I think in this topic everything is clear that they have lungs for the breathing, they have beak but no teeth, they have furcula, called as a wishbone. What is meant by furcula? Furcula or wishbone is a forked bone found in birds and some other species of dinosaurs as well. Okay, children, furcula is the central V-shaped bone in a bird chest that is part of the pectoral girdle and that helps stabilize the chest cavity for flight. This is attached to the shoulders and leads to the sternum or wrist. Next diagram you can see over here furcula. This is wishbone or furcula protects the bird's chest from force of breeze, from force. This furcula is attached to the shoulder and fused to the sternum or breastbone of the bird. Okay. Now children, common features of fish. The last topic is fish. Common characteristics are what? They live in water. They breathe through gills. They have scales. Most have fins to help them move through the water. Okay? They are cold-blooded. Children, it's very simple that within water, that's why they're called aquatic animals. They're called aquatic animals. They breathe through gills instead of lungs. All fish, they breathe through gills instead of lungs. Gills are basically the respiratory organ found in many aquatic organisms that extract dissolved oxygen from water and excrete carbon dioxide gas. Gills are the respiratory organ in fish. Fish breathe through gills. Fish breathe through gills. Fish are aquatic animals. For fish, uh, gills are organs that allow fish to breathe underwater. That allow the fish to breathe underwater. Gills are protected with a gill cover. They are protected with the gill covers. Over here you can see in this particular fish. Over here this is the gill cover. Similarly, you can see in this one orange one fish. This one is the gill cover. Okay. So gills allow oxygen, they absorb oxygen from the water and send it to the body parts and to collect the carbon dioxide from the body and send it into the water. Okay children, my dear students, now open your workbooks, page number 11 and 12. Children, this is your homework. This is your homework, page number 11 and 12. You have to do workbook with the pencil. Thank you, children. Now the class time is over. So I'm leaving. Hope you can understand all. And I will send you the lecture after some time, the slides as well, the lecture recording as well, and you listen it again. Thank you so much.